In November, town meeting will be asked to vote on zoning proposals designed to improve conditions for the town's summer population. The Dennis Economic Development Committee encourages your support for these proposals. 80 years ago, summer camps started to spring up alongside the Dennis-Port coastline. These summer visitors liked the area and chose to return year after year, slowly making their stay more permanent. Over the past 80 years, the accommodation needs of these travelers continued to evolve. Tents and trailers ultimately became cottages. While the tents and trailers turned to cottages and campers, the families that came to the Cape continued returning, turning these properties into multi-generational havens. In 1973, Dennis rezoned, prohibiting cottage colonies and recreational vehicle facilities. The proposed zoning seeks to reverse that decision and ensure a place for these communities in Dennis. Even after 40 years of nonconformity, these properties have persevered. The zoning recognizes the importance and strength of these historic communities, provides them with a conforming status, and responds to the desires of both the residents of these properties and many Dennis residents that we find a way to continue their existence. The process began in the fall of 2009 with the Dennis Economic Development Committee holding a forum to hear from these residents. Over the winter, the Planning Department opened communication with the property and cottage owners, and during the summer of 2010, the Economic Development Committee directed the town planner to meet weekly with our summer residents to craft the zoning proposal now coming before town meeting. After countless hours of discussions, we are proposing to create a new seasonal resort zoning district and to apply this zoning standard to 3 distinct areas of Dennis, areas where the majority of cottages and recreational vehicles are located. The proposal recognizes the unique communities these areas represent and provides protections for their history and continued evolution. The proposal allows, for the first time in nearly 40 years, the ability for landowners as well as cottage and RV owners to invest in their properties. These investments will allow for improvements in wastewater. 2 properties, Grindell's and Campers Haven, are already under administrative orders to correct wastewater. With projected costs in excess of $5 million to address a single property, long-term value and reinvestment becomes necessary to support infrastructure needs. The proposal also allows for improvements to structures, improvements which, if undertaken, will require construction to modern flood standards, thereby reducing risk of property loss in the event of a severe storm. Finally, the ability to reinvest in cottages will promote improvements that will support improved fire safety. Modern construction requirements for fire retardant materials will improve fire safety throughout these properties. Ultimately, the proposal seeks to maintain for future generations what today's owners have come to enjoy. What does the zoning do? Specifically, we reduce allowed building heights in this area from 35 feet to a more compatible 25 feet. This change allows for more modest improvements that will allow some upper-level living space without overwhelming the remaining cottages. Height accommodates both extra living space and flood zone construction requirements. The proposal also establishes a maximum footprint. While not all cottages may be able to expand due to the proximity of their neighbors, the zoning will also ensure that cottages will remain in scale to one another and not overcrowd the area should they be able to expand. Uniform spacing for fire safety and emergency access is also established. This spacing will limit the ability of some owners to expand, but it will ensure that emergency personnel can move between cottages and RVs for rescues or firefighting. At the request of the cottage and RV owners, the proposal also makes special note of the existing common facilities and ensures their protection, whether it's picnic areas, laundry facilities, or playgrounds. The bylaw seeks to ensure that these do not disappear in the future, as these facilities are all about the community and bringing the residents together. As you can see, the proposal provides for the continuation of these unique communities in the town of Dennis and provides a framework for future generations to reinvest in their properties, keeping them seasonal homes they want to return to again and again. These properties are indeed unique communities. Their uniqueness is what makes them so important to the future of the town of Dennis. Please join the Dennis Economic Development Committee and all the land, cottage, and RV owners who have given up hundreds of hours over the past year and support the seasonal resort community proposal at town meeting.